32 at center for the Bruins. Sweeney is in the lineup for Boston tonight as well. And those are the changes with the Bill O'Dwyer sitting this one out for the Bruins. He was in action in Game 5. Now we're set for the singing of the anthem. Risa Harmon at the microphone. Settling in for this one, Dan Maruelli is the referee. The linesmen are Ray Scapinello and Dan McCourt. Starting in goal for the Bruins is Andy Moog. He leads all goaltenders in the Stanley Cup playoffs with a goals against mark of 2.10, and he is 3-1 in the series. One of those wins, a relief win, and the dramatic comeback the Bruins put forth in the last meeting in this building on Wednesday night. Peter Sidorkovich now at 2-3. He hasn't made many mistakes, Jerry, but the one with the Neely scoring the winning goal is one he'd love to have back.
He certainly would, Rick. If he knew what was going to happen, he'd just lay that puck in the corner rather than trying to make a play past Neely.
John Bice does open up at center for the Bruins between Brian Propp and Cam Neely. The Whalers have Dave Tippett on the ice with Mike Tomlak and Kevin Dineen. Brant Jennings battles with Neely. The loose puck behind the net is taken by Tomlak. Fires the pass up the middle. It's off the stick of Don Sweeney. It's played back in by Bice. And now sent ahead by Bradshaw for Kevin Dineen. Galley has him under control. Galley again wearing the C. Here's a steal by Tippett, centers, and Galley cleared it away. C stood for clearing the puck instead of captain in that occasion. Big hit at the Bruin line as Don Sweeney has it.
Neely got up staring at referee Maruelli. That was Kevin Dineen who clocked him, and they've been going at it pretty good this series, even though they both are right wingers.
Samuelson misses Dave Babbage on the pass. Back for it, it's Bob Beers. The rookie defenseman touches up, and we have an icing called against Hartford. We've played 59 seconds.
It's not usually that two right wingers get to collide often, but it's happened a lot in this series. Like Cam Neely got up. He didn't even, he knew who hit him, but he didn't look for anyone. He went right to Maruelli and just gave him the eagle-eyed Fleagle.
The who?
That's a character in Little Abner. Feagle, I believe it is.
Okay. Mike Milbury wants to head home and get ready for the divisional final series against either Montreal or Buffalo. The Whalers want to have a final say in that plan, however.
The next time the Bruins play after tonight will definitely be in Boston Gardens.
Here's Ulf Samuelson. He scored the game-opening goal in Boston on Friday night. And Burridge is back to touch the puck. Now we've got Wesley and Evison bumping, and the linesmen separate them. We have another whistle for an icing call against the Hartford Whalers. Wesley is hobbling into this Game 6 action.
He blocked a shot in Game 5 off the left ankle, and he was somewhat questionable this evening. But without Raymond Bourque, I'll tell you, you almost have to force yourself to
Bob Papa in New York at the Forum in Montreal. Canadians lead it 1-0. But Buffalo on the power play. Doug Bodger with the shot deflected by Rick Vive. Patrick Roy never had a chance. Buffalo and Montreal are tied up at 1 in period number 1. Back to the Hartford Civic Center.
Looking for Scott Young. Dave Poulden, as you mentioned, Jerry, such a solid two-way performer in this series, got back defensively. And Poulden tries to pick up the loose puck. It's taken by speedy Todd Krieger. Krieger surrounded by Bruins. They've held him off the board since he scored a goal in each of the first 2 games in the series at Boston Garden. Dave Christian clears that zone. Samuelson drives it in. Wesley hounded by Evison. Here's the pass to Beers, the Buffalo area native, with a pass to Peter Duras. He's belted by Pat Verbeek with the Bruins clear. And the puck got tangled up with referee Dan Mirowelli, and the Whalers are able to play it back in. Ray Ferraro comes up with it. Throws it toward the net as Moog was getting back in the crease. Sivak Kote keeps it in. Wesley, checked by Ferraro. Francis moves in there. And it's chopped out to center by Burridge. Randy Lenasseur hounded by Peter Duras. Pass stolen by Bob Carpenter. The backhander is stopped by Peter Sidorkovich. And Sivak Kote steps into Duras. John Carter's on the scene. Carter looks to put it in front. Circles in front. Down he goes, and the net is moved away for the Magnets. With all that traffic around Sidorkovich, we get a whistle. We've played 2.5 of scoreless hockey here in Hartford.
We go above and beyond just like you, above and beyond what we have to do.
I'm a Prudential representative, and I help people review their life insurance needs because I know how much the right life insurance means to me and my family.
You take pride in your life, so do we. Going above and beyond is our policy. The Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
Well, the crowd is up for tonight's game. You know, in Game 4 here, Rick, the game in which the Bruins made that fantastic comeback, it was nowhere near as live as it is this evening. Hopefully that helps the Whalers.
I think we noticed a lack of intensity in Game 5. Sidorkovich gets a whistle as Duras ran into Brad Shaw in the goal mouth.
Well, Game 5 was the weakest game as far as the intensity level goes from both teams now.
And the crowd.
And the crowd at Boston Gardens. That was very surprising. See Peter Sidorkovich not taking any chances. And in this type of a game, if you're the goaltender, and especially the goaltender on the team facing elimination, you got to freeze it every opportunity you have. No use trying to make a fancy play or a play that's not available. You got to take the face-off. And especially with the Whalers being so strong with face-offs, except for Cam Neely beating Ronnie Francis the other night for the eventual winning goal.
Bruins control it. Don Sweeney with a shot. It's tipped wide. Francis is checked by Duras. Brad Shaw has the puck. He gives it to Evison. 3 Bruins are back as Evison is forced to dump it in. He'll go to the bench. And Ray Ferraro will take his spot. He's out on left wing with Francis and Verbeek. Grant Jennings backhands the puck into Boston territory. Galley hounded by Verbeek. The pass out for Don Sweeney. Cam Neely bumped by Verbeek. And Neely just safely fires it off the boards and out of trouble.
Coach Rick Lee has put Ray Ferraro, normally a centerman, at left wing with Francis and Verbeek.
Want to get that big line going scoring-wise. Here's Beers. Moves it along to Alan Peterson. Weiss. He had 77 points in 46 games with the Badgers and scored a hat trick in their championship win over Colgate. Here's a pass to the goal mouth by Propp as Neely trying to get a stick on it. Propp. And a backhanded in front. He lost the handle to Ulf Samuelson. Weiss works it free. It's poked ahead by Babbage, and Dineen clears. Beers wants to keep the pressure on.
Boy, Kevin Dineen got out of the way of a runaway locomotive earlier in this shift. Neely was answering Dineen right back to the left of Sidorkovich.
Tomlak held up by Wesley. Gould is in there as well. Tippett makes it a foursome. Tomlak loses his helmet. And the whistle blows. 15:40 remaining here in the opening period. Boston and Hartford are scoreless in Game 6.
Wow, this cleaning's taking forever.
Oh, it's not going too well, is it? You mean you're not done yet?
We're not even close.
Some people have not yet tried Tartar Control Crest.
I can't believe this.
And some people have. That was easy, because Tartar Control Crest can help make cleanings easier.
A new world's record, huh?
After all, it is the toothpaste more dentists recommend. Highly commendable.
Great. See you later.
Tartar Control Crest. It's hard on tartar and easy on you.
Do I get a lollipop?
We're seeing a fourth line from the Whalers for their first shift of the evening. Randy Cunneyworth at center with Jody Holland right and Chris Govidaris, the rookie, at left wing. We're getting back to that Neely. You know, I always like to see a guy answer a big hit. You saw that Dineen got him on the first shift. He come right back at Dineen, and Dineen just stepped out of the way. But I tell you, the Cam Neely had full speed going at Dineen.
Watch for that matchup throughout the evening as Sidorkovich. That's the puck to the corner. Gould is there. Bob Sweeney has it. Back for Gould. Sweeney leaves it for Lyndon Byers. Chris Govidaris, seeing his first Stanley Cup playoff action, is belted by Byers in that corner. Govidaris was the Whalers' first-round draft pick in 1988. Here's Sweeney with a shot that's knocked down by Sivak Kote. He takes a look around, waits for some help. Feeds to Cunneyworth. He ran into Kote. Byers lost his edge. Both teams want to make some changes.
But the Whalers are still having a problem leaving their zone. They're really laboring. I don't know if it's nerves or rushing it or whatever, but they seem to, they've given the puck away 3 or 4 times with easy control.
Alan Peterson's without his stick, and the Whalers keep it in. Shaw shoots. It's blocked by Alan Peterson. The try in front is deflected, and it was sent right behind Krieger as Young drove it to the net. The lead for Burridge. He can't get there. Grant Jennings beat him to the pass, but Burridge hustles to try to gain control. Evison moves it ahead to Scott Young, and he'll clear. Krieger races back for the puck. He's got 2 Bruins to beat. He'll wait for some help. The pass is taken away by Poulin. Poulin on the 3-on-3. Hangs on to it, but it's whistled down by Ray Scampanello offside. 14:07 to go in the first, no score. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue in a moment.
At 11 o'clock, Home Team Sports brings you Ladies Championship Wrestling. We're Home Team Sports. Bring it home.
Referee Dan Marawelli, I'm sure, has decided we're going to let these guys play as long as they keep the sticks down. Well, if it's going to have to be very, a good goal-scoring chance before he's going to call it. Here's a couple of chances for the Whalers, but they have yet to have been credited with a shot on goal.
Gary Fraser allowed the teams to decide the issue. Here's a pass to Krieger, races and he shoots it. It's kicked out by Moog to Christian. He hands it away to Babbage. Christian locks up with his former Winnipeg teammate, Young. Tries to pull his way toward the net. He lost the puck to Christian. Burridge tips it out to center. I was saying Kerry Fraser chose to let the players decide the issue in Game 4. Here's Evison shooting, and that's blocked. Evison has it in front. Young shoots. He scores!
I don't know how this line ended up together in the ice, but it was a strange combination. Ferraro, Evison, and Scott Young. Scotty Young gets his first goal since the first game, as he made no mistake. You see what happened there. Oak Samuelson tried to shoot in the corner, but he hit Ferraro in the back, allowing the Whalers to come up with easy possession. That's the end result. A fine pass from Evison right on the tape of Scott Young. So far in this game, the Bruin defensemen have blocked 4 or 5 shots. You see Galley right there, but luckily for the Whalers, went right back on the stick of Evison. Scott Young, who can release the puck as quick as anyone in the game, puts the Whalers ahead by a goal.
Gary, that was a real key for Boston on Friday night, blocking so many shots, almost nothing got through. But that was the smaller building here. Do you think in doing so, do they run into coverage problems if they decide to go for the shot? Carter held up by Verbeek. Semenkote with a pass out for Verbeek. It's by him. Beers gets rid of it quickly. Ferraro hands it to Ron Francis. 3 Bruins are back. Francis leaves it. Verbeek shoots, and it's kicked out by Moog. Moog injured his right shoulder. In the 3rd period on Friday night in Boston, Scott Young rang one off the shoulder, and there was some question as to if he would be able to play in this game. He skated in the warm-up this morning, and obviously he's in the lineup, but we'll see how the Whalers go about testing him. Carpenter gets a whistle, and we get Carter running into Lanister, and Carter quickly goes down, and that draws a crowd. 12:24 remaining here in the 1st period. Hartford has opened the scoring. Let's pause for a regional break. Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue in a moment.
Joe Orsulak.
Bill Ripken and Orsulak. Orsulak, did he catch it? Yes!
Bill Ripken.
George Brett hits a grounder. Great play by Bill Ripken, and he makes the play.
Craig Worthington.
Worthington around first. Diving into second, and he's safe.
Mickey Tettleton.
The Fruit Loops kid strikes again, a 2-run homer.
It's time again for Orioles baseball. See 90 games live and exclusively on Home Team Sports.
Rick, in answering your question about this blocking shots and is it better in this rink with a bigger end zone, I think you can afford like one fake to see if the defenseman goes down, then make a move on him. But I still got to believe, as quick as you can, you got to put the puck towards the net. But it's a sign of a good team who's not afraid and has the will to fall in front of the shots the way the Boston Bruins do. They don't end up in first place, and unless you have that willingness and courage to do that.
And both teams in this series have shown that ability on their successful nights in this series. An errant pass is waved off. Peterson has to get to it. We're past the 8-minute mark, and Hartford leads. A goal by Scott Young, his second from Dean Evison and Ray Ferraro at 6:31, even strength. The Whalers have the edge in scoring in the series, even strength, 16-10. Jerry says maybe they'll decline the penalty should they get a power play chance. Neely goes down, but Poulin steps in. And Tippett tried to clear it. Neely got back into the play. He fires a pad save by Sidorkovich. Babic works it loose, but Propp has it. Babic gets it back once again. The pass hits Samuelson. Finally, Cunneyworth takes over. He'll dump and chase. Babic did not keep it in. Dan McCourt quickly halts play for the offside.
Peter Sidorkovich makes the first important save of this game as Cam Neely was all alone in front, right at the hash marks. And Peter did one good thing here. He established position early, and he just stands there and hopes that it hits him, because no way in the world you're going to be able to beat Cam Neely if it's on a corner, and regardless if it's up or down or whatever. But he did establish good position as soon as he saw the interception. And that's being alert and being ready for this game. Cam Neely is one of the harder shots in the game of hockey.
Dave Babic maneuvers in. Sends it back to Krieger. Krieger shoots it. It's wide of Moog. The puck dribbles in front. It's poked away by Wesley as Samuelson was charging toward the net. And the Bruins breaking out. Here comes Wesley. And it's whistled down. We've got a hooking penalty upcoming against Boston. Behind the play, Jim Weimer goes to the box.
This is about as fast as you see any player go to the penalty box. Obviously, he knew he was guilty of the hook. And this was a break for the Whalers as the Bruins had an edge going up ice. You can see the Bruin fans in attendance here. There's a lot of them. I'd guess around between 2,500 and 3,000. Do you think that's too many? Between 2,000 and 3,000. Let's be a little safer by saying that.
They sound like maybe 5,000.
Well, if you know Bruin fans the way I do, you know that 2-hour trip, they weren't playing gin rummy.
Well, Weimer's in the box for hooking. Jerry, when the series switched to Hartford earlier, Hartford at that point was 0 for 13 at Boston Garden on the power play. They got into it quickly with the man advantage at home, scoring on 2 of their first 3 chances. They certainly want to establish that here.
But I believe that what the Whalers have to do to have a successful power play for tonight and hopefully for Tuesday evening is attack the Bruin blue line as a 5-some, not a 1-some or a 2-some, whatever. They have to have 5 guys there.
We welcome our Sports Channel America audience joining us here as it's 10:36 to go in the first period. 1-0 Hartford on an even strength goal by Scott Young. John Carter clears the zone. Hartford is on the power play. The first chance for either team in this game with Weimer in the box for hooking. Whalers at under 8% efficiency in the playoffs, but 25%, 2 of 8 here at the Civic Center. Ferraro hands the puck to Babbage. He had a strong game 3 and also game 4 here in Hartford. But the Whalers are unable to get position established in that Bruin zone as Carpenter clears. Robb covers up the puck, wants a whistle. Francis is on him along with Brad Shaw. The Whalers keep it moving. 55 seconds to go on the Weaver penalty. Verbeek has Francis open, tames the pass, and the backhander went wide. He had trouble with that bouncing puck. Francis has it again. Ferraro and Verbeek flank him. Wesley steals the pass, angles it to the point. Shaw keeps it in. Verbeek ties up with Beers. Ferraro keeps the play alive. Out to Shaw, the one-timer into a crowd. It was off Beers or Moog, and Young has to regroup at center.
Andy Moog complaining that he was being bothered in the crease area.
Seconds to go on the Hartford power play. They're trying to add to their 1-0 lead, and they have a 3-on-3 as cutting in. The pass was behind Kevin Dineen. It was swept back toward the Hartford line. Scott Young with a pass to Krieger. The penalty's over, but 2 Bruins collide. Krieger cuts in, centers for Evans, and the backhander is gloved, and Moog will take a whistle.
Well, this is after the power play, and this might have been the first shot since the penalty. Not knowing if Beers or Moog stopped the only one on the power play, but good work by Todd Krieger as he goes around Sweeney. Here's a little backhanded flip by Dean Evison. You know what I like about Andy Moog is his style or his crouch. I mentioned this in a couple of games. He's not a goaltender that goes down to his knees, but he gets low enough to see where the puck is, and he's got a perfect little crouch for a small goaltender.
Jerry, with that right shoulder injury that he's playing with, have you noticed the Whalers trying to test him, or have they had the opportunity so far?
I don't think they had the opportunity. I think the Bruin, especially their defensemen, are really going to the puck quickly, not allowing the Whalers with a chance to test that left shoulder.
Of course, the reports emanating from the Bruin dressing room sounded pretty serious. I don't know if that was to generate a little doubt in the minds of the Whalers as to whether he'd be available or what. You never know in the playoffs. It's real cloak and dagger stuff at this point. And we get a whistle for the icing call as we look at Dave Babbage.
Oh yeah, you're not going to find out anything there. It's like spy versus spy. And I can remember playing against Canadians years ago, and they had Beliveau out for at least 10 days. Pocket Rocket Richard out for 4 weeks. They had the puck between them for 40 minutes. Dave Babbage, who leads both these teams in the plus-minus category with a +5. The Bruins are well aware of Dave Babbage's ability to put the puck towards the net on the power play, and they are certainly keying on he and Scott Young, as we mentioned in the opening. The Whalers really have to work hard to set it up down low.
Cunningworth wins the draw. Samuelson can't hold it in. Whalers have Jody Hull on with Chris Gobideras. Flanking Cunningworth as Hull sails it into the corner. Galley catches up to that lively Karam. Quickly he's belted by Gobideras. Galley gets a stick from Bobby Carpenter. Stuffing tries to stop. Hull with a shot. That's blocked. The puck dribbles in the goal mouth and Moog covers it. As Hull's try was deflected and Moog finally caught up to the bouncing puck. 8:10 to go here in the first period. Our score, Hartford 1 and Boston 0.
Cold filtered. Never heat pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
Well, the Whalers' so-called fourth line gives a great scoring chance here. You see Jody Hull trying to stuff it, but watch Gary Galley. He makes the key play here as he falls in front and blocks the shot, and Byers almost banged it in. But Moog was there to make the save. Once again, the Bruin defense really willing, that's the key word as far as I'm concerned, to drop in front of shots.
Christian and Evason on its face-off, and Wesley has it. He's belted by Young. Krieger steals, centers for Evason, and Beers got the blade of his stick on that pass. Pulled it, quickly gets rid of it for Burridge. This has been a big line for the Bruins, and taking over the series lead, Christian Burridge and Dave Poulin. They led the big comeback as Boston trailed 5-2 going into the third period on Wednesday, and emerged the series tied 6-5 win. Here's Burridge, checked by Cote. Christian tried to center, and Randy Ledesser got in front of that. Pass Karams to Cote. Scott Young has the game's only goal. He just misses Krieger on this pass. Beers is spun around. Young shoots, kicked out on the rebound. Evason couldn't get it on goal. Wesley was there and centered it. Poulin steals. Poulin 2-on-2. Now joined by Christian. Back to Poulin. Pass in front, and Christian couldn't get to it. Burridge was covered by Cote, who picks up the puck. Whalers and Bruins both changing on the fly. Here's Galley to Alan Peterson. He'll lift it in. Shaw belted by Neely. Jennings helps out. Looks for Tippett. He's rushed by Galley. Tominac clears. Peterson hounded by Deneen, and down goes Alan Peterson. Tominac moves in for the puck. John Bice, the 6'1", 180-pound centerman. He's 22. Seeing his first Stanley Cup action here tonight. Deneen tries to cut out in front. On the backhand, gets it toward the net. It's kicked away by Galley. He's wrestled to the boards by Tominac. The Whalers want to keep the pressure on. Neely stripped to the puck. Tippett fires, and it's deflected away as Mo got a stick on that. Galley with a pass that hit Merriweather. The Whalers keep it in. Tippett in for Deneen. Back to Tippett. It's broken up by Galley, who read that pass. Bice leads it for Neely. Neely and Jennings look out. Croft tries to spin out of that corner. Neely to Carpenter. He's checked from behind by Tippett. Now Deneen is in Neely's face. They continue to go at it. The puck is poked along by Jennings. Carpenter to Beers. Over to Don Sweeney. Quick shot is off Shaw, and it deflects into the crowd, and now we've got Jennings and Neely bumping. Jennings wants Neely to go at it. Cam Neely has avoided getting involved in any fisticuffs per order of the coaches in this series.
He's going to get an awful shock right here. I think he's going to go to the box along with Grant Jennings. There might be an extra penalty to the Whalers, but Neely will signal to the box. Let's see how he reacts. Now he's going to take it cool, calm, and collected. But you talk about restraint. We're seeing it at its peak from Cam Neely. This all starts in the corner, Jennings and Neely, and I'll tell you, these are two strong dudes in there. Neely survives it and gets the puck in front. Wow. Well, I felt the way that Neely restrained himself and the way that Jennings went after Neely consistently that he was going to get an extra call, but these will be coincidental. This started up in the Bruins zone as Neely was at the point was Jennings. It started there and continued all the way down to the Whalers' end.
In a key penalty call earlier in the series, Jennings took a roughing minor trying to invite Neely to dance, and Neely totally backed off in that situation, and Boston got its power play going at home, helped by that penalty.
In fact, they got a goal in that penalty, Rick. But Cam Neely, you have to admire him for that. He is one of the toughest guys in the league, and he's doing the right thing by trying to stay out of the box, but he's going to erupt one of these times, and I'll be glad I'm up here.
Francis wins the draw, and Babbage rushes out. It's a 3-on-2. The pass to Francis. Ferraro back to Francis. Babbage shoots, and it's stopped by Moog. Verbeek backhands it toward the net. It's knocked down by Beers, and Carpenter sends it out on right wing to John Carter. Samuelson's back. The drop pass to Duras. Thrown in front, and Carter couldn't control it. Verbeek takes it on the move. Leaves it for Ferraro, and Carpenter had him in tow and have an icing call that the Bruins win the race, and they did not. Moog has to take a whistle with bodies dropping at the side of that net. Just under 5 minutes to go here in period one. Our score, Hartford 1 and Boston 0.
Did you know that even though your 800 service is working perfectly, unexpected events can keep you from getting calls? But only AT&T automatically covers you with our 800 assurance policy. Within 1 hour, we can reroute 800 calls to any working phone, even at home. Guaranteed. Reliability, another AT&T advantage. Call today about our special 800 offer.
Bob Papa in New York at the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland. Early period number 2. John Tucker, headman pass to Jeff Courtnall, the Capitals, and he blasted through the legs of Chris Terreri. The Capitals lead the Devils 2-0 in period 2.
Just flip up at the last second. I'm sure Babbage would have got a lot more wood on it. You ever seen such a playoff series or series all over the league where there's so much action around the net? The net's always coming off its magnets. Goaltenders always getting crushed. I'll tell you, the goaltending union is going to have a serious meeting this summer.
They may call you in as a consultant, Jerry, as the baseball players did for Marvin Miller. You were one of the union chiefs when you played, weren't you?
No, not really. But I'll tell you, it's reached epidemic proportions, and they're going to have to do something about it.
And Verbeek on a center. Francis was covered. Galley gets rid of it. Sylvain Colte. The pass to Ferraro. Centers, and it's poked away by Moog, and Colte has it again. Shoots, and Moog with a stop, and he'll glove it. But Francis right there, nose to nose with him.
You know, I'm sure the Boston Bruins are going to be very happy if it's only 1-0 Whalers when they go in at the end of this period, which is 4 minutes and 36 seconds away. Because the Whalers have really had the most of the play. The Bruins with the odd spurt down towards Peter Sidorkiewicz, but the chance of have been all Whalers. Well, we'll give the Bruins one quality opportunity, the Neely interception and the blast right from near the hash marks. But certainly if they felt they could win when they're trailing 5-2, the Bruins, they could feel they can win when they're only trailing by 1. So the Whalers, with great offensive pressure in this period, have got to keep working at adding to their lead. The shot's 10-3 Whalers right now. 4.5 minutes left.
Bolden, one of the scoring leaders for Boston in this series with 6 points.
Rick, he will not be taking the draw. Dave Christian is right winger, who has been unbeaten and, well, spoke too soon.
Until now.
Up to this point, he has taken 4 or 5 draws at his end in this series and has won every one of them. It's nice to see that was an easy win for Dean Evison against Christian.
Jerry, have you noticed, has he been going against left-hand shots on previous games?
That's the key. He's been going against Ronnie Francis down there. The Whalers in return to Dean Evison, a right-handed shot. Let's watch again. There's the veteran, Dave Christian. Important player to the Bruins. He wins this. He increased his intensity level this time.
Samuelson trying to play it back into the zone. It's carried out by Beers. Wesley risks it in. Sidorkovich takes a look, leaves it for Samuelson. Houlin's waiting to intercept. He's met by Evison. Burridge has it. Poked it out in front. It's finally controlled by Babbage, who's been on the offensive in this first 20 minutes. Trying to slip that pass by Beers. That didn't work. Dean Evison takes it. Poked away by Beers. Whalers are offside. If they touch it, they do not, and the Bruins are allowed to come out. The pass dribbles to Babbage's stick. Under 4 minutes to go here in period 1. Jim Weaver. The pass to Wesley. The lead for Byers, and he's held up by Ladouceur. Mike Tomlak has some room. Walks in, trying to turn on Weaver. Stuffs it in front. It's blocked by Don Sweeney. Burridge will lift it down the boards and down the ice, and we'll have an icing called against the Bruins. 3:22 left here in the first period. Scott Young has the game's only goal.
Yo, this is Mars Blackman in the house with action follows my main man, Michael Jordan. This is Money slamming in Detroit, in Philly, Boston. Must be a bird's eye view. D.C., L.A., New York. Shut up, I'm doing a Nike commercial here. Shut up. The other L.A., Texas. Yeehaw! Denver, some serious hang time. Must be the mountain air. San Francisco, Moscow, Paris, oui. Walla Walla, Budapest, Sea of Tranquility.
So Rick Lee waiting to the last possible second to get his lines on the ice, waiting to see who the man on his right has on the ice. He's elected to have Ronnie Francis play most of this period against Bobby Carpenter.
Off the draw, Gould escapes with a puck. It's taken away, though, by Bradshaw. Ferraro sends it in deep. Shots are 10-3 Whalers. They lead it 1-0. Oh, despite apparently being hampered by a right shoulder problem, has been very sharp for the Bruins in net. Here's a pass that's deflected back to Don Sweeney. Out he comes, the lead for Bob Sweeney. He's onside, he's alone. He is stopped by Peter Sidorkovich, who covers the puck.
Well, Bob Sweeney, who did not dress in Game 5 in Boston. Mike Milbury not too happy with his play. Gets a chance here. You'll see Don Sweeney makes a good pass to him. A nice crisp pass, allowing Sweeney to go into alone. He's going to choose to go to his forehand. But Peter Sidorkovich, Rick, has got that knack right now of being able to back in with the player, moving to either side. You'll see this time to his left. And the key to this for Peter is not making the first move, forcing Bob Sweeney. Bob Sweeney with a chance with the injury to Janney to redeem himself. Could have won a lot of marks with Mike Milbury there by tying the game up. Good save by Peter Sidorkovich, his second big save of the period.
Francis beats the youngster Bice on the face-off. Bruins keep it in. Galley with a drive, a stick save by Sidorkovich, and Bice was tied up by Ladouceur. Deneen moves it ahead to Francis. He got tangled up in Bruins. And Francis plays it in. Tippett gives chase. Galley sends him to the ice. Wesley up the boards to Neely. Gets it to Bice. It's poked away by Tomlak for Deneen. He's double-teamed, and escaping is John Bice. Sidorkovich leaves the puck for Ladouceur. 2:15 left here in the first period. Young has the only goal for Hartford. That came back at 6:31. Beers clears the zone. Samuelson will play it as both teams make changes in the neutral zone. Samuelson, the stutter step, trying to beat Duras. Peterson held his ground at the blue line. Young plays it in. Peterson got rid of it. Babbage takes it. Fights off a check, had two teammates with him. Still trying to save that play, but it bounces away to Beers, who's been impressive, filling in for Ray Bourque of all people. Carpenter with a pass, and Babbage dove to block it. Evison. Ahead for Krieger, and behind the play, the net was dislodged, and Dan Marawelli halts play. 1:34 to go in the period.
Well, Dave Babbage is having himself some period, creating a few opportunities down at the Bruin end, and he's working his tail off coming back. He makes a sprawling deflection of a centering pass to deny the Bruins a good opportunity.
It's been a well-played first period. Game 5 seemed to be a game in search of a tempo. We never really had one.
Well, there's a lot of penalties, a lot of coincidental calls, a lot of delays that really didn't have a chance to gain any momentum that game, gain any pace. And that was for either side. I mean, every time you thought one team might have had something going, boom, there was a 5-minute delay and the sticks were up and the penalties were called. I still believe the refs. There's no need to call anything yet in this game. This is, like you say, Rick, a well-played game. The sticks are being kept down. A couple misconducts there with the key players. Yet the other players hold it. They're not going to fool around if he's going to hand out misconduct so easily.
It gets players' minds back on the task at hand, playing the game. And you mentioned we did have such an amount of extracurricular activity, totaling 99 minutes in penalties, and that's a real departure from the previous 4 games.
It's only been coincidental majors, only 2 majors.
Ron Francis wins the face-off. Ladouceur moves it along to Shaw. Young clears that zone. Beers with a pass that is taken away by Krieger. Now it's regained. Carter cuts in with Carpenter. Carter shoots, and he sends it wide. Don Sweeney fires toward the net. It's blocked. Duras has it. Shoots a save by Sidorkovich, and he'll sweep it away. A minute to go as Ladouceur runs over Carter. Evison is belted by Carpenter. The pass is by Krieger. Beers has to play it. Whalers change up. There's some confusion around that Hartford bench. Here's Carter cutting in with a shot. It's gloved by Sidorkovich, and we have a penalty upcoming. Carter went down, and now he's trying to get at Samuelson. Marawelli has a penalty call for us here. This will create, I believe, the second power play of this game.
And the Bruins first. The Whalers have already had one. You know, is this the first? Oh, they'll be coincidental. We're going to see Alf Samuelson come over and deck John Carter right here. He's going to get the glove up, and this will be a roughing call.
Samuelson gets super roughing at 19:21.
This will be the Bruins' first power play. Rick, I mentioned that it'd be the Bruins would be happy to go in at 1-0. Well, somewhere along the line, in the last 4 or 5 minutes, they regroup. They want to go in at least 1-1. The way they're playing, they're getting some opportunities, and with 39 seconds left, they'll go on the power play without Raymond Bourque and without Craig Janney. Peter Sidorkovich has been very sharp tonight, Rick, and it's been tough because he didn't get a lot of work early. And here's a save on Peter Duras. Not only does he make the save, but he puts the puck in the corner.
Gary, I gave you a bum steer on those signals on the penalty. I'll leave the refereeing to you.
No, just 1 year I want to referee, that's all, Rick.
Samuelson for roughing. Boston on the power play, nearly 30% efficiency in the series. Near the top of the Stanley Cup standings. Here's Propp with a shot. Can't save Sidorkovich, and he cut the rebound away from the dangerous Neely. And the Whalers clear as Cote sails it down the ice. 17 seconds remaining in period 1 as Wesley fakes driving it in. That confused his teammates more than the opposition as Weiss now has to send it in. Cote has a little time. Shank the pass. Neely's shot stopped by Sidorkovich. The puck is loose, and the whistle blows as the period ends in quite a flurry around that Hartford net.
One thing that has haunted the Hartford Whalers throughout this series is out-and-out giveaways in their zone. They're not using the boards to clear it. They're trying to use the open ice, and they're paid for it dearly. And it wasn't for this man here, this game wouldn't be a 1-0 Whaler lead.
Now Scott Young has the game's only goal. That came at 6:31 of the first, his second of the series, from Dean Evison and Ray Ferraro. The shots 10-9 favoring the Whalers. Boston in the last 6 shots on goal, and they still have 1:21 left on their first power play opportunity of the hockey game. When we come back, we'll be joining our crew back at Sports Nightly.